Why, hello, it's Mr. Zidane. So good to see you today, and I'm looking forward to sharing our Bible lesson with you today about Moses and his brother Aaron and the Pharaoh and the plagues. So let's go ahead and get started today. I don't have my wonderful theme song playing, but I thought it'd be a great time for us to talk together, have a story. So you've all been reading in the book of Exodus, and so we're gonna pick up the story there in the book of Exodus, and I'm gonna just tell you the story here. So we pick up our reading today in Exodus chapter 7, and it says, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'See, I make you as God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron shall be your prophet. You shall speak all that I command you, and your brother Aaron shall speak to Pharaoh, and he will let the sons of Israel go out of his land. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that I may multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. When Pharaoh will not listen to you, then I will lay my hand on Egypt, and bring out my hosts, my people, the sons of Israel, from the land of Egypt, by great judgments,'" or we could put the word wonders. "And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord." Remember, that was his name, I am. "When I stretch out my hand on Egypt and bring out the sons of Israel from their midst." So Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them to do. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 when they spoke to Pharaoh. Verse 8, "Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh speaks to you, saying, Work a miracle, then you will say to Aaron, Take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, that it might become a serpent." So Moses and Aaron came to Pharaoh, and thus they did just as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron threw his staff down before Pharaoh and his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called for the wise men and the sorcerers, and they also, the magicians of Egypt, did the same with their secret arts. For they each one threw down their staff, and they also turned into serpents. But Aaron's staff, or rather his snake, swallowed up all of their staffs. Yet Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not listen to them, and did not do what the Lord had said. So we remember this story, and this is an old teaching tool, going a little low-tech today for fun. We have Pharaoh sitting there in his wonderful palace, and he's got this servant over here, always fanning him, keeping him nice and cool. And of course we have Aaron, who's come in with his brother Moses. And then the story says Aaron's got this staff, and Moses is here. And as the Lord has instructed him, Moses says to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." It's a very famous line, and it's also a line from literature and deliverance literature, speaking about slavery. Let my people go. The book of Exodus is a great parallel to that. Well, the Bible tells us that the Lord commanded Aaron to throw his staff down, and when he did, it became a living serpent. The Bible tells us that there were magicians in the court that were serving the Pharaoh, and when they saw what he had done, they threw down their staffs, and they also became serpents. It seems like in the Bible, according to the Bible, the demonic power had an opportunity to mimic or to rival the power of God in these stories. This was an example of this. And many of the miracles that Moses and Aaron would do would be copied by these magicians for a time. And that's very interesting. We can talk about that sometime. The Bible goes on to say that even though they copied it, though, Aaron's serpent ate the others. So even though they were outnumbered, God's serpent ate them. And then when he took up his staff again, the serpent went away. And they would use that example other times.